Hi friends, welcome to my channel Civil Tutor. In this video, we are going to estimate the quantities of the following items of the two-roomed building from the given plan and section. Here is a detailed plan of two-roomed building and here is the section. In this, we are going to calculate the quantities of earthwork excavation, PCC in earthwork, first class brickwork in foundation, 2.5 thick DPC, brickwork in superstructure. Here the room dimensions are 4 meters by 6 meters. This is 4 meters. This is 6 meters inner to inner. Here in this room 6 meters by 6 meters. This is 6 meters and also as this is also 6 meters. First of all, we need to calculate the center line lengths of the long wall and short wall. Here 0.3 is the wall thickness plus 4 meters of inner to inner dimension of the first room, and the 0.3 is the middle wall thickness, and 6 meters is the second room inner to 0.3 is the width thickness of the wall. We need to calculate the distance from here to here. For calculating this distance, we need to minus 0.3 by 2 and this side 0.3 by 2. We need to reduce that 0.3 from the overall length. The overall length is going to be the 10.9 meters and the center line length is, after reducing, 10.9 minus 0.3, which is going to be the 10.6 meters. As well as for the short wall, the outer length is 6.6 meters. After reducing the 0.3 from that, for calculating the center line length of the short wall, 6.6 is the overall length and 0.3 is the outer side width of half two walls, which is going to be the 6.3 meters. These are the center to center lines lengths of the long wall and short wall. Here is the detailed section of the plan, which is showing the earthwork excavation, PCC, brickwork, first class brickwork in foundation as first step, second step, third step, and the plinth level, which this is the 2.5 thickness DPC. This is the superstructure, which is above the ground level, height of 4.2 meters. We need to calculate the earthwork. For that, we need to calculate the depth first. This is 1 meter. How means 0.3, 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. We need to sum up all these lengths. We can get it 1 meter. Now we will go to calculate the earthwork excavation. For this is the standard table of estimation. Earthwork excavation in long wall. We have 2 long walls and 3 short walls. The length of the long wall, as we calculated earlier, it is 10.6 meters and the length of the short wall is 6.3 meters. For earthwork excavation, we need to do earthwork from here to here. So we need to add this 1.1 to this length, 10.6 plus 1.1, which is going to be the 11.7 meters. And the width is same, 1.1 from the section. And the depth is 1 meter as we calculated earlier. For short wall, length is going to be the 5.2 meters. Here we need to reduce the width of the foundation or excavation from the total length, because we are added in the long wall, so that we reduce this length in shorter dimension. And the breadth is same as 1.1. The depth is also same. Here the total quantity goes to be 2 into 11.7 into 1.1 into 1, 25.74. And for short wall, 3 numbers into 5.2 meters into 1.1 meter into 1, 17.16 meter cubes. The total quantity is 42.9 meter cubes. We will move into the second one, which is PCC in foundation. You can see clarity in the section. This is the depth of PCC and this is the width of the PCC, same as earthwork excavation. Now, for calculating the PCC, we have 2 long walls and 3 short walls. The length of the PCC is same as earthwork excavation, which is 11.7 meters, and the depth for short wall 5.2 meters. Breadth is 1.1 meter. It is going to be also 1.1 meter. 1 meter for short wall also it is 1 meter. The total quantity is 2 into 11.7 into 1.1 into 1, which is going to be the 25.7. Here depth is 0.3. We need to calculate the depth of this. Depth of this one, this is 0.3 meters. Here it is 7.72. For short wall, 3 into 5.2 into 1.1 into 0.3, which comes out to be the 5.15. Adding those, which comes out to be the 12.87 meter cubes. Now we will move into the brickwork in the foundation. You can see here, this is the first step with the depth of 0.2 and the breadth of 0.9. This is the second step with the depth of 0.1 and with the width of 0.8. And this is the third step with the depth of 0.1 and with the width of 0.6. This is the plinth or the fourth step with the depth of 0.3 and the width of 0.4. First, we need to calculate the for long wall. For long wall, the length, as we discussed earlier, the length is going to be 10.6 plus width of the item which we are doing. Now for the first step 0.9, we should add 0.9 to the outer length, center to center line length. Here the numbers, we have 2 numbers on long walls, 2, 2, 2, 2. Length of the first step 10.6 plus 0.9, which comes out to be the 11.5 meters. Length of second step 10.6 plus 0.8, which comes out to be the 11.4. For 10.6 plus 0.6, 11.2. For fourth step 10.6 plus 0.4. Here you can see 10.6 plus 0.4, which comes out to be the 11 meters. And the width here, first step width is 0.9 and the depth is 0.2. For the second step, width is 0.8 and the depth is 0.1. For third step, the width is 0.6 and the depth is 0.1. For the plinth, the breadth is 0.4 and the depth is 0.3. We can calculate the quantities. 2 into 11.5 into 0.9 into 0.2, which comes out to be 4.14 meter cubes. The second one, 2 into 11.4 into 0.8 into 0.1, 1.78. 2 into 11.2 into 0.6 into 0.1, 1.34. The fourth one, 2 into 11 into 0.4 into 0.3, 2.64. The total quantity comes out to be the adding these all 9.9 meter cube. And similarly calculate for the short wall. We have three number of short walls entering in as 3. The length of the first step is calculated as center to center distance 6.3 minus width of the first step. You can see here center to center distance is 6.3 meters and the width of the first step is 0.9 meters. Reducing the 0.9 from the 6.3, we can get 5.4. As similarly 6.3 minus 0.8, which comes out to be the 5.5. For the third step, 6.3 minus 0.6, which comes out to the 5.7 meters. And for plinth, 6.3 minus 0.4, 5.9. The breadth for first step is 0.9, followed by second step is 0.8, and for third step is 0.6, and for plinth is 0.4. You can see it clarity 0.4, and depth is 0.2, 0.1, 0.1 and 0.3. Now calculating these 3 into 5.4 into 0.9 into 0.2, 2.92. Round figure this. If the first digit, after if you round figure to the 2 digits, the next digit, if it is more than the 5, you can round off it to the next figure, so that it is having the 6, I can rounding it to the 2.92. Next the second one, 3.3 into 5.5 into 0.8 into 0.1, it comes out to be the 1.32. 3 into 5.7 into 0.6 into 0.1, 1.03, like that. Here the 6 is the greater than 5, so that I am rounding this to the this 0.3, 1.03. Next 3 into 5.9 into 0.4 into 0.3, which comes out to be the 2.124 meter cubes. Adding all this, 2.92 plus 1.32 plus 1.03 plus 2.124, 7.39. Adding these two elements will give the quantities of earthwork in the foundation. 9.9. Total earthwork is equal to 17.29 meter cubes in the foundation. Now we will see into the DPC. Here the thickness of the DPC is 2.5 centimeters. Usually here the depth is not taken into consideration because the measurement of the DPC is done in meter squares, and therefore the length and the breadth of the DPC is only calculated. Here the width is 0.4 meters and the length is calculated here as, for length 10.6 plus 0.4. For long walls we need to add the 0.4, which is the breadth of the DPC, which comes out to be 11 meters. And for short wall 6.3 minus 0.4, which comes out to be the 5.9 meters. 2.5 thick DPC. Here one for long wall, one number only, and the length is 11 meters. There is 0.4 width, there is no depth. For short wall, here for short wall there is 3 numbers, and for long wall there is 2 numbers. The length is calculated as 5.9 meters and the width as 0.4. There is no depth is consideration because the units of measurement of DPC is in meter squares. Here 2 into 11 into 0.4, which comes out to be the 8.8, and 3 into 5.9 into 0.4, 7.08. The total is 8.8 plus 7.08, which comes out to be the 15.88 square meters, because the DPC is measured in square meters. This is important. Now we will calculate the brickwork in superstructure. We need to calculate this. The height of the superstructure is given as 4.2 meters and the width of the wall is 0.3 meters. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 number of windows and 2 number of doors. The size of the window is given as 1 by 2 meters and the door is 1.2 by 1.1 meters. Here we need to calculate the first class brickwork in superstructure. Here the length is calculated as, for the long wall, length is equal to 10.6 plus the width of the wall is calculated as 0.3, so that which comes out to be the 10.9 meters. For the short wall length is equal to 6.3 minus 0.3, therefore 6 meters. Here for long walls there are 2 number of long walls, which the length is going to be 0.9, the width is 0.3. This is the width of the superstructure width is 0.3 and the depth is 4.2. For short walls there are 3 number of short walls. The length is 6 meters, width is 0.3 and depth is same as the long walls, which is calculated as 2 into 10.9 into 0.3 into 4.2, 27.47. And the second one short wall is just 3 into 6.0 into 0.3 into 4.2, which comes out to be the 22.68 meter cubes. The total quantity here is 50.15, including the doors and windows. We need to reduce the quantity of doors and windows from 50.15, so that we are calculating the total volume of doors and windows. For that, deductions to be made for doors and windows. First one, doors. We are having the 2 number of doors as given in the question. Doors are 2 numbers with the length of 1.2, height of 2.1 and breadth as wall depth is equal to the width of wall. Length is 2.1 meter. Here the length is considered as the width of the door. Means, see, if it is the door, Suppose it is the door. This is the height 2.1 meters and this is 1.2 meters. We are having the depth 0.3 meters, width of the wall. I am taking this 2.1 as the length, this 2.1.2 as the width, and this as the depth. Here the length is 2.1. I mean height is taken as 2.1. 2.1. The 1.2 is the width of the door and 0.3 is the thickness. We are having the two numbers. As same as for windows, this is 2 meters, this is 1 meter, and the width of the wall is 3 meters for windows. There are 4 number of windows. Here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. The length is 2 meters and the depth is 0.3 meters and the breadth is 1 meter. Calculated as 2 into 2.1 into 1.2 into 0.3. 1.512 for doors. 51. 4 into 2 into 1 into 0.3, which comes out to be the 2.4 meter cubes. Adding, we need to reduce these two items from this. 1.51 plus 2.4, which comes out to be the 3.91 meter cubes. We need total quantity of superstructure. Here the total quantity means the first class brickwork in the superstructure is 50.15 minus 3.91, which comes out to be the 50.15 minus 3.91, 46.24 meter cube. This is how we can calculate the quantities of different items required for the building. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, like and share.